Welcome back, everybody. The History Guy here. This is episode 4, playing on Hearts of Iron 4, the Great War mod, as the nation of Germany, the German Empire. If you didn't see the first 3 episodes, there's a link in the description below that will take you back to episode 1. This is the situation. Once again, there is a civil war going on in Russia between the Russian Empire and Soviets. These other countries have all broken off since the treaty that ended the eastern part of the war. We're now fighting solely with Italy, France, and the UK, plus their kind of smaller allies. So what I think I'm going to do, rather than continuing to try to break through Belgium, where I'm just not having any success, is I think I'm going to go ahead and just once again do the strategy I did with Russia, which is just hold the line here against the French and the Belgians and their allies. It looks like there's some Japanese and Italian troops in there as well. And then put all of my focus into breaking through Italy and attack France from down here. So we'll see how that all goes. It's April of 1915. Here's the situation. I've lost nearly 1 million men now, but we've inflicted far more casualties than that. And I'm hoping eventually manpower runs out for some of these other nations, but we'll see. All right, this is a big deal. We've completed our tank prototype research. The main problem we're having right now in Italy, because we're up here in the mountains, is supply. And because this is Austria-Hungary, I can't even build anything to help with that. So unfortunately, kind of stuck there right now. Research speed, reinforce rate, breakthrough. That's going to be a helpful thing. So we're now able eventually to build tanks. Let's take a look. 1916 technology. So we're a little bit ahead. We're going to wait a little longer. As soon as we hit 1916, we'll go ahead and start researching those, and we'll start getting tanks into the field. So I've noticed that the vast majority of the divisions on the Western Front are up here in Belgium and Luxembourg. So I wonder if it would be possible, where I see there's only about 6 divisions on each area here. I know he's got crazy amounts of fortifications here, but I wonder if I could quickly run an army up there and break through somewhere. I'm going to give it a try. Okay, here comes the army. We're running them right up in here, and we're just going to smash into this division right here. Or these divisions. Let's see if we can break through before he can do anything. Oh man, what is going on? It's like they attack and then they immediately stop. Alright, we're going to try to break through all the way along here. I don't know why that attack can continue, but this one can't. Well, that may not be a workable idea, but I had to pull some of these divisions out because the attrition has just been awful down here because of the lack of supply. I may have to pull yet another army out of there. There's just too many armies down there to be able to handle all the supplies, so maybe we'll pull this army out and put them up here. See if that reduces the attrition issues that we're having. Ah, the Soviets sent 5 divisions to help out. Oh man, so he pulled his troops out for some reason over there and allowed me to take this one objective. And now we've got an interesting situation because I've got an opportunity here to maybe actually get some breakthrough. Now he's starting to pull some other troops up in there now. But I got through that first one little spot. Now I'm having trouble getting any further. But hey, even one single territory right now is a big deal. So we're going to continue working on our infrastructure and things of that nature. Nowhere else really making any breakthroughs. Still tons of supply issues here, even with having reduced that all the way down to just 3 armies along this border. I just can't do anything because of the supplies. Yeah, the Olympics should be canceled. All right, we're launching an all-out attack with our Western Theater forces. And it looks like we might get some breakthroughs here. Since I don't know why I hadn't realized sooner that he had probably 80% of his divisions up in Belgium and Luxembourg. But it seems to have worked off. We might get a breakthrough up here soon. I have air superiority pretty much everywhere now. Well, not in the Alpine region, but I did. Let's move some forces down here to deal with that. I've been focusing a lot on building up my Air Force. Looking at research now, we did get the tank prototypes. Now we're working on our first tanks. They'll be ready in 2 months. So probably the end of January 1916. And we're also working on armored warfare. So those things, I think, are going to make a big difference. We've got 5 French divisions completely encircled. That's beautiful. And they're gone. Nice. All right, breakthrough in the Alsace region right here. See if we can push that a little further. Heck of a time to do it in the middle of December. Still lots of supply issues down here. Just not sure there's anything I can do about that. I wonder now if he's still got a ton of divisions up here. So I'm wondering if now's the time to put pressure up here, if nothing else, to relieve him from... It'll cost me casualties, but if I attack along here, it keeps him from being able to reinforce down here. So I'm probably going to have to go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and make sure we're issuing some orders here. Oh, that's weird. Let's try that again. Huh. Okay. Well, attack anyway. Oh, now they're pulling troops. I gotta get this all sorted out. Alright, looks like we're about to make another breakthrough down here in France. We're at 99, 98%. 44 divisions versus just 4. He did make a little breakthrough out of Belgium right here, but we've contained that. Or out of Luxembourg, I should say. And what I'm going to try to do is maybe use that bulge to my advantage if I can sneak in around behind him. Let's look at the casualty situation now. We're at 2.7 million lost. Austria-Hungary is actually losing a lot of that against the UK, fighting off invasions. The numbers have actually closed quite a bit, but most of that's Austria-Hungary. I've not lost nearly that many. Let me see what's going on down there, because I hope they haven't broken through again. No, they haven't. They kept trying to land over here. That was the main issue there. All right, we've got our first tanks. Boy, that couldn't come a moment too soon. I don't think we can really do anything to research. These other ones are so far ahead. I think we will work on these next level of armored cars, though. And we're about to get the armored warfare technology breakthrough, which is going to help as well. So let's go ahead and start producing some of these things. It's going to take a while to really get a decent amount of them into the field, so I'm not going to assign any of them to an army just yet. So while I start building these tanks, one of the things I have is a ton of army experience points. So we're going to make these tanks a whole lot better than they are. Let's get reliability up as much as possible. We can get it up to 72%. The main gun, we can get a little better. So all of these things are going to give some really nice bonuses to these tanks. Make them a lot more effective. And what I've done is I've actually started building armored divisions rather than adding the tanks to my existing divisions, at least for now. We're into April 1916. It looks like we're finally starting to have some success in Italy. It's been super slow going, but we are having some success, at least on my left flank in Italy. We're also continuing small breakthroughs in France. Meanwhile, I'm working on my first armored division. It's just really slow going because it just takes a lot of production to be able to even get one single armored division into the field. What I'm really hoping will happen here is eventually we can swing around enough by breaking through in France that we can just envelop these 60 or so divisions that are in here and then slowly destroy them rather than attacking head on. June 1916, we've taken Venice. So finally some progress being made, and now You can see the supply issue is not nearly as big a problem as we venture into Italy. Now that the supplies are no longer an issue, I think we're probably going to bust through here pretty hard now. I don't expect a lot of opposition. And we've got the same issue here where the enemy divisions are not showing up. So let's see if we can fix that. I don't know why that occasionally happens. But we're getting a nice encirclement here. If we can maybe just push that a little further. You can see mostly French divisions there. And almost, it's pretty much all French here. So I don't even really see, it used to be a lot of Japanese, a lot of other nations, but it seems like mostly I'm just facing France at this point. We do have some British divisions down here in Italy. Let's look at casualties for just a second. We're now up to 3.34 million on the Central Power side, 3.8 million on the Entente side. Still about the same amount. He still slightly outnumbers me in the field. Certainly has a lot more industry than I do. Division's not a huge difference. So I really got to keep making breakthroughs. If I can really kind of finish Italy off and maybe form a line right here just to hold him, then maybe we can start putting more pressure on France down here and finally get some progress and knocking them out of the war. All right, so some good news. We finally completed the Cult of the Offensive Doctrine tree. So now we are able to go on to something else. And we're definitely going to go for mobile warfare because the future is definitely in tanks. Even though I don't have a lot right now, and I am researching the next one, I know that the next war, the next generation is going to be tanks. So once we complete this war, we still have much to pursue. So hopefully long term that's going to help me. You can see we're still making good progress. Hoping very soon that we can take this region here and we'll start pushing this out, and then hopefully we can start coming around on him. Nothing new happening in Italy at the moment as we get almost into August now. There is a bit of an issue for Austria-Hungary down here as once again the Allies have made a landing. You can see Japanese troops in there. Looks like Oman, Portugal have some divisions in there, the British. So the Austro-Hungarians are going to have their hands full containing that. Let's take a look and kind of zoom out at the world here. I believe Soviet Russia and the Russian Empire are at peace. There's not actually a war going on right now between those two. There's just the Mexican Civil War, which has been dragging on forever, and then our war right here. So no war happening right now. They're just kind of peacefully coexisting. I don't think there's anything I can do to bring either side into this conflict, though. Nope. Well, I thought they already had, but maybe they had left. The Ottoman Empire has joined the Central Powers. I did choose a national focus that allowed for that, so hopefully this means we get them back involved in things. If nothing else, immediately this allows for them to start rushing units. It looks like the French were moving units through the Ottoman Empire, so I guess maybe that's going to stop now. So maybe they'll move up and at least help with this issue right here. Let's see what that does to... Yeah, I guess they actually weren't in all of this. So we're going to call them into this fight. And that should get our fielded manpower up. I don't know why I hadn't paid attention to the fact that the Ottomans weren't involved in this whole thing. So let's hope that helps. And since we're not at war with Russia, that means they don't have to bother with troops over here. They can fight elsewhere. So maybe that helps turn the tide. And that reminds me that we've got the Americans over here, and we do have to be at least a little bit concerned about what they might choose to do. Right now, it looks like they're mainly just focusing on the military. They're not doing anything diplomatically to do much of anything. So I don't know what's going to happen with them, but hopefully we can keep them out of the war because I don't think I could handle dealing with the Americans as well. I've decided to ratchet things up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and start putting pressure up on the right flank of my force with on the Western Front here. If nothing else, it's going to keep him from being able to push more units out, and it looks like we're actually causing a breakthrough. German Empire called the Ottoman Empire as our ally in the war, and we're making this breakthrough. The Kingdom of Italy and the Ottoman Empire have signed a white peace. What does that mean? All right, so now that gets us up to 3.89 million in manpower. That gets us a little closer to being on par with them. That brings 84 divisions of the Ottoman Empire into the fight. Hopefully primarily against these forces that have tried to invade the Austro-Hungarian Empire. But my big push has definitely ratcheted things up on the French, and it looks like we're going to make a breakthrough here. We're definitely starting to encircle these troops. This could really turn out to be something special here if we can make this work. I just got to make sure that these guys don't get cut off themselves. So there's a lot of divisions here. It could be really kind of messy. All right, we're starting to see the Ottoman divisions rushing into the conflict. They're pushing up into this area here. That's looking good. We're making progress into Italy. If we can cut them off right here, that would be fantastic. Looks like things have kind of slowed down a little bit here against the French. Right now I've got some issues that I've got to kind of redraw the lines, reissue some orders here, because I think everything is getting a little bit kind of swamped at the moment. But my encirclement tactic seems to be working. We just broke through right there. So if we can just cut through right up in here, oh, that would be fantastic. Although it looks like he's pulled some of those divisions out now. Lend-Lease with the Baltic Duchy. Let's see the issue with... He's still got about a 400,000 man difference in casualties with me. Pretty happy with how things have gone since the Ottomans entered the war, though. So what I'm doing now is I'm attacking from this side, and we're trying to take these two territories right here. If we can take both of those, we're in November 1916. Take both of those, we've got these other divisions encircled, and that could be the beginning of the end for the Western Allies, at least on the European mainland. Of course, once I take France and Italy, then we've got to deal with our navy again and see what we can do to maybe get at the British. But I'm pretty content to just sit tight and not worry about the Brits if that happens. All right, troops continue pouring into Italy. Looks like the Austro-Hungarians have sent some help up here now, since the Ottomans are helping them down here. We do have a little bit of a British landing behind us, but it looks like the Austro-Hungarians are dealing with that. All right, well, I think we'll take this into 1917. That'll be a good place to stop for this episode. Oh, it's a sad day. The Emperor of Austro-Hungarian Empire has died, Franz Joseph I. The beloved Kaiser has died. Karl I ascends to an uncertain throne. November 1916. Kind of a stalemate right now in the West. Haven't really been able to break through anywhere else. Continuing to deal with a little bit of a rearguard action here over in the South, but we're going to put them out of their misery pretty soon. Let's see how the Ottomans are doing. I want to see what their casualties look like so far. They've lost 53,000. But they're inflicting casualties on Japan, the UK, Italy, Egypt, Oman, and others. Speaking of, is there fighting going on down here? It appears there must be. Yep, there's some going on down here. All right, we're about to enter into 1917. Hopefully going to break through here soon. We're up to 90 on this one. We're at 97 here. Oh, just started going back down. I thought we had them. Only 7 divisions up against 94. If we could just get that breakthrough there. All right, it's December 15th. We made this breakthrough. Now, maybe we can use these same troops to... looks like they're maybe bummed out on supplies. There we go. 108 divisions taking on 9. If we can just push through, we will have Luxembourg and a whole bunch of French, Italian, Portuguese troops surrounded. All right, well, we had to call off the attack up here. It wasn't going at the moment. Oman has capitulated. Victory for the Central Powers. We just took Metz. So here's where things stand now as we continue this press in there. Things have kind of stalled with a little bit of a bulge out here in Italy, but we have made it at least to our initial battle line. We just got to push through over here and take Milan. But you can see here this fight continues, but the Ottomans are taking the fight to other places. So the good news is no matter what they do, they're taking pressure off of what I'm doing. So here's where things stand as we wrap this episode up. The field and manpower continues to be about the same, though I think for the first time I might have a slight edge. We now have 533 divisions in the field, 89 Austro-Hungarian, 87 for the Ottomans, and 349 for me, the Germans. So things are continuing to go well, though it doesn't really show in the overall scheme of things, but that's because we haven't started taking big land yet. But as I continue to make progress on technology, hopefully that'll happen. Of course, we got to assume that the French and the Brits are also working on tanks, so we should probably see those pretty soon. So the sooner this is over, the better. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about all this? What would you do differently? What do you like? What do you not like about what you see? What should I be thinking about? And we'll see. So pay attention. Next couple of days, we'll see another episode. Thanks for watching.